Start recording. Good evening. Live at 5 again, except for this time in Zoom because it's easier to record, and I want to keep these workshops recorded because they may well be useful for other people in the future. So, as I did last time, I will download the video from Zoom and post it in the group, but then I'll have it recorded. Anyway, enough of jabber about the the technical stuff. This week I've been talking about duality because it was beginning to get on my nerves, to be honest with you. All these people going on about positive vibes only. It's absolute bullshit, people. It really is. It's the kind of BS that encourages perfectionism, spiritual bypassing, which essentially means just brushing it under the carpet, thinking it'll go away, and then watching it rear its ugly head later on. While thinking though about that positive vibes only, one thing I wanted to add, which I think I said in one of my posts earlier in the week, is that it's a particular problem for the people pleasers amongst us, and I know that there are a lot of you in this group, because you've been conditioned and taught that to please others is the best way to maintain your belonging in the tribe. So when people come at you with this whole positive vibes only malarkey, you, one, think that it's possible, and two, think that it's a good thing. And it is neither. It is neither. You can't be positive all the time. And the world can't be positive all the time, because if it was, well, it just can't be. It can't be. Nobody is going to appreciate or experience joy, for instance, without understanding emotional pain. I'm not saying you have to be in emotional pain all the time, quite the opposite. All I'm saying is that by believing in the balance between one and the other and making a choice about how you want to feel in a particular situation, I'll come back to that later on, we can live much happier, more creative and fulfilling lives. So going back to duality, apart from that joy and pain duality, there's also, the reality. The reality on this planet is that there is no light without darkness, up, down, hot, cold, left, right. Lately, I've been looking at a colour wheel so that I can see which colours contrast with each other without clashing, or which colours pop against each other without clashing. And while researching colour, I was reminded of something I was taught at school, which is black is the presence of all colours and white is the absence of all colours. But then there's also light and dark. When it comes to kids, we've got calm kids, crazy kids, kids that go from calm to crazy in a split second and then fall asleep all of a sudden. What else have we got? Balanced, chaotic, loud, quiet, stop, go, hold, release, stillness, movement. We can't really appreciate one without the other. There is work when there isn't rest, and there's rest when there isn't work. One of the more interesting contrasts that I've come across while making this list is sweet and salty. Yeah. I'm one of the weirdos on the planet who, when it comes to popcorn, I like sweet and salty together in a bag. Because when I taste them together, they're more than just salty popcorn or sweet popcorn, because combined, they're just lush. Clarity or blurred vision. Yeah. You can't appreciate that clarity. Like, when I take my glasses off, right, my whole world is a blur. And every now and again, I will consciously look at the world through my blurred eyes, just so that I can appreciate this clarity even more. There are lies and there are truth. In your life, there's going to be rough and smooth. And essentially, we're looking at happiness and sadness here as the emotions that I'll talk about further on. Just a second. fighting off this cold thing that everybody I know has had. I have been assured that you can't catch it from being on a Zoom call. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so what you need is a way to appreciate, a method to consciously feeling your emotions. Because that way you can teach your body that it is actually safe to feel these emotions. So that when you feel like having a cry, you just have a cry. Yeah? Feel it, let it go. I have this memory in the back of my mind from when a friend of my parents asked me to be a bridesmaid. And I had so much excitement in my body that I just burst into tears. Happy tears, I later discovered them to be. But yeah, so consciously feeling your emotions, focusing on your body's sensations, also allows you to expand your own window of tolerance. I'm just going to tip that down a bit so you can see my hands moving about. Because if you imagine you have a window of tolerance in which you are happy and stable and calm, yeah, your stress levels can go up and down inside that window and you're just fine. But there are times when you will become so stressed you'll go out of your window of tolerance into fight and flight, fight or flight, or both together, you know, that kind of hyper stuff. And if you allow yourself to feel it, you can drop back down again into your window of tolerance, into that calmer place. And likewise, if you become, this often happens if you're bullied, for instance, if you're bullied and knocked back and knocked back and knocked back, you drop out of your window of tolerance into a hypo state where you freeze. Or in the case of people pleasers, we just start doing any little thing we can to get back in that person's good books. In one-to-one sessions and in small groups, I lead an exercise where it's almost like a meditation or a guided meditation with closed eyes. I get them to look at little Polaroid pictures, you know, the ones with the white outline and the gap at the bottom where you write what it was. Looking at little Polaroid pictures that when you look at them, the picture moves. So it's almost like looking at a little video. Talking them through the stages of feeling the happy feeling, being in that state, and then feeling a sad thing or a sad state. Yeah. And then teaching how to hold both together. Knowing that you can be happy and sad. Oh, that's something I didn't get. Way over there on the other side of the room, there is a picture of my wedding day. And I love it. You know, there's me, my husband, the kids, my bouquet. You can see the envelope of me holding the certificate, and all that stuff. It's brilliant picture. But when my husband suddenly passed away, looking at that picture made me feel really, really alone and sad. Because not only did I lose my husband that day, but I also lost the kids. They were whisked away because somebody decided I couldn't cope without even asking me. So anyway, long story short, now when I look at that picture, yes, there's still sadness, but in addition to the sadness, there's also the recollection of what an amazing day that was. Like trying to start a food fight and nobody taking me up on it. That was a bit weird, but anyway. So I can now look at that picture and feel happy and sad at the same time. That picture doesn't send me off into tears and rage. It doesn't make me drop into insular isolation. I can stay within my window of tolerance. And this technique and others that I teach in coaching can really support you and prove to your nervous system that there is safety in experiencing the emotions. because experiencing those emotions can rebalance you and get you back into your window of tolerance. That feeling can, how do I say it? This allows you as an adult human being to reconcile those confusing feelings, which may be up and down, left, right, all the rest of it, into a simple and calm reality, especially when you're looking back, because there's a lot of trauma in this world, and trauma isn't the thing that happens, by the way. Trauma is your body's reaction and your mental reaction to that traumatic event that happened. So if we can go back and re-experience those things in a safe and present, comforted way, we can again bring those confusing feelings into that simple and calm reality in this moment. And that, of course, removes the stress and confusion that your body is holding, and so stabilizes your whole being. This helps your mind make meaning of the sensations that are in your body. Because your sensation can't, your body can't talk to you in words, it talks to you with sensations. And best of all, these techniques can allow you to feel, process, and release those emotions. So you're no longer carrying around baggage. There's research going on at the moment. There has been some, but there's some current stuff going on that is really on its way to proving that the emotions and the trauma and those trauma responses that are held in your body, held in the tissue of your body, can cause everything from autoimmune disorders to mental ill health. And in between those two extremes of your body deciding, nah, had enough of this, and coming up with autoimmune disorders, there's kind of like a halfway point where the stress that is created by holding these emotions can do really simple, straightforward things that lead to other stuff, like high blood pressure, not breathing clearly and fully. So all of those things can happen. Now, have you at this point got any questions? Let me just open the chat, see if there's anything in there. No, I can't see anything at this point. No. Okay, so as I said earlier, this emotional balancing technique is something best done with someone, because that someone, especially if they're trauma informed, can hold you and the energy that's going on and see what's going on in terms of any trauma responses, and can keep you safe at the same time. Right, just had messages pop up. No, that's someone else. Okay, so without any questions then, there's not much more to say on the subject. Only to remind you that, of course, I'm a coach. I'm a trauma-informed somatic coach, and these different techniques, whether it's breath work, whether it's emotional balancing, whether it's just sensing and feeling your feelings. I mean, saying that, feeling your feelings, I immediately get a flash of the classic sort of, bricklayer bloke saying, what do I need to feel my feelings for? Well, you know what? I know a lot of men, and I'm not kidding here. I know a lot of men who have spent their entire lives not allowing themselves to feel jack shit. And now they have ulcers. Because that stress, that tension is being held in their stomach tissues, causing excess production of acid, which is literally corroding their insides away. So if you feel like you need to scream, Go upstairs, grab a pillow, do it. If you need to cry, do it. Allow yourself to feel. And if these feelings are too much, or you're scared, apprehensive about it, reach out, talk to me. It's very difficult for me to give blanket advice, which is why I don't ever do it. But my only advice is to allow yourself to feel. Again, sounds corny, but in order to heal your hurt, you need to fully feel it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little workshop, just a quick 20-minute workshop. Yeah, no slides, no anything complicated. It's just me talking about the duality of the world. And yeah, next week, I think I'm either going to be talking about blocks to self-care or going deeper into that window of tolerance piece, where you talk about how your nervous system can regulate yourself. I've got a couple of really snazzy little exercises when I do that one about being able to flex your vagal nerve by turning your head and moving your eyes in a particular way. It's rather weird, but that's for another day. Right now, I need to go off and get myself organized because I'm coaching again at the top of the hour. Yes, if there's anything you would like me to talk about in particular, if there's anything that's bugging you, let me know. And we'll see if we can either do a full week of content, a little video bit about it, or another full week with a workshop like this. So, bye for now, everybody.